Houston. Houston, we have a problem. DJ Apollo has landed. I repeat, DJ Apollo has landed.
Hear me?
You are listening to the Tales of Music and Film podcast. My name is Christian Taylor, and like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, I want to personally thank you for clicking on today's episode. Now, we have another very exciting one here today, folks. We are doing 2 episodes in one day. I just finished recording my short little review of my experience watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and I invited my incredible little sister on for that episode, and she is back yet again for this one as well on another Spider-Man related subject. So good afternoon, Channing. How are we doing today?
Very good.
What's been the highlight of your Tuesday? Being lazy, as always.
Shush.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're wondering, her daily basis revolves around she's in her pajamas literally all day. She sleeps in till about 10 o'clock, and then she's on her tablet for hours. She watches the same shows over and over again. She never goes outside. She hangs out in her bedroom, aka her cave, with the lights off. And if you shine any light in her room whatsoever, she's like.
No, I'm not, first of all, and we're trying to do a podcast here, so please let's go on with that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know. I'm calling you out big time on your bad habits. I apologize.
Okay, I'm gonna in the next episode I do with you, I'm gonna call you out.
On what? What could you possibly call me out on, huh? That's what I thought. Okay. Anyway, we are going to be talking about a couple of Spider-Man films that she is a huge fan of. We had mentioned these films when we were talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was like, you know what? Let's talk about them, because these movies were on my topic list, and the conclusion is coming out literally this year. So I kind of figured, hey, better time as any to talk about the first 2 Spider-Verse movies. So the plan is we're going to talk about Into the Spider-Verse from 2018. Then we'll talk about Across the Spider-Verse, which came out in 2023. And then her and I thought it'd be cool to talk about what we hope happens in Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is set to come out, I believe, this December. So the Spider-Verse series, I think, is absolutely incredible. I mean, if you guys haven't seen these Spider-Man films, go watch them. I mean, there is so much that we could say about them. They are incredible animated masterpieces with an amazing story. And these films, in my opinion, might be the best multiverse films ever made. You guys know, for the last, I would say 6 years, the MCU has entered, this multiverse thing. It's I would argue the last 2 phases of the MCU have heavily been influenced on multiverse stuff. There's been a lot of them, but I feel like all the multiverse films, I think, were not that good. The only good one, in my opinion, was Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that movie understood the assignment on bringing characters from different universes into a different timeline. But most of them have fell flat. But I think these movies understood how the multiverse really works. And I mean, there's so much that Channing and I could talk about. But I think the first thing we should do is maybe talk about how we got introduced into these films. So for me, I remember me and my best friend Jonathan, who's been on the show a couple of times. Him and I went to go see the 2018 Venom movie, and I remember at the end of the movie there was an after credits, and we got to see a small little trailer for Into the Spider-Verse, and now that was the first time him and I had ever even heard of it. I remember seeing it for the first time with with that new animation style they were using, and I had no clue what to think of it. But Jonathan and I were like, we need to go check that out whenever it releases later that year. And we did. And man, Into the Spider-Verse, it's an excellent, introduction movie for Miles. the highlight of that movie and the sequel is Miles Morales. Like, the character of Miles Morales has been making quite the comeback in pop culture. I mean, you have the Spiderverse films, and then he appeared in both of the Insomniac Spider-Man video games. So, like, he's been making quite the comeback. And Miles, the way he is my favorite character in these movies. Like, him and Gwen. Miles is such a cool character. Like, who's your favorite character in these films, Channing?
Well, you probably already know what the answer is.
Well, they don't know.
Well, it's Gwen Stacy.
Okay. See, they don't know that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But they don't. Okay, why do you like Gwen Stacy?
Because I just love her character, and I just love how sassy she is, because
Mhm.
I'm literally just the same.
Oh, yeah. Very relatable. But yeah, Gwen Stacy is an amazing character, and I think Gwen, the way she's portrayed in these movies, she is an incredible character. Now, Channing, how did you get into Spider-Man? How did you get into the Spider-Verse?
Because I think you told me about it, and then you showed me where the movie came out, and it came out on Netflix. You showed me the movie, and I'm like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, and I meant to go. I was supposed to take you to see the second one, but I just got too busy.
Yeah, but we'll see the third one together.
Yeah, we'll see Beyond the Spider-Verse. Like, Jonathan and I are already planning on, we're going to go see it, and I'll definitely take you along where we go see it. But yeah, I remember, the animation in these films, is it not just incredible?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, the new animation that they're using in these movies are really cool.
Oh, absolutely. And so the plot for the first movie is the first movie is basically an introduction movie for Miles Morales, because in this movie, Miles' Spider-Man is killed by Kingpin, and while he was trying to stop him. So Kingpin, you learned that Vanessa, his wife and son, were killed in a car accident, and what he's trying to do is he's trying to have his team build a multiverse machine where he's going to, take one of those universes, Vanessa and his son from a different universe, and teleport them into his or whatever, because he can't move on, he can't let them go. And while he's doing this, Spider-Man's trying to stop him, and the machine pulls all these different, Spider-Man characters from different timelines into Miles Morales' timeline. And like I said, Peter Parker in Miles' universe is killed, and Miles now is tasked with completing the mission. And while he was, and Miles ends up being bitten by a spider that teleported from a different universe. So in this universe, Miles was never supposed to have powers, but now he does. So now now things have changed in this universe, and then he has to learn how to use his powers or whatever. And then while he's going to college, he runs into Gwen, who is disguised as a student, trying to figure out what happened, why she's here. And then they kind of form a friendship, and then Miles Morales ends up meeting an older Peter Parker. Peter B. Parker is his name, and he's like an late 30s, early 40s Spider-Man. So he's been Spider-Man for 20 plus years or whatever, and he's a very older Spider-Man. And you learn, and all the characters have troubled lives, basically. You learn that Peter E. Parker, his life is absolutely in shambles. You learn that Aunt May's passed away. Peter's marriage to MJ failed. He lost a lot of money. He's in a very bad spot, and he's kind of given up, being a hero. And you learn in the second movie that Gwen doesn't really have a good relationship with her father, and it only gets worse, in the sequel. And then Miles, for example, he's having a troubled life because his parents are forcing him to go to a college he doesn't want to go to. His parents keep putting these high expectations on him that he doesn't want, So And like I said, that gets even worse in the sequel as well. So in this movie, all three of our main trio all come from troubled backgrounds they've ran into like roadblocks in life. So now Miles has spider powers. So Peter B. Parker basically becomes like Miles' like instructor. Thank you, Channing. Instructor or mentor. That you can use that too. And then they have to go after Kingpin, try to find the machine to see if they can send everybody home. And then along the way, we meet other characters like Spider-Man Noir, Pig Spider-Man, and then there's a few other characters. There's this one girl, she's like an anime character. I can't remember her name. Like, she's in a suit.
Well, she doesn't really have a suit. She has like a robot like suit. Like, she goes in and like controls it.
Yeah. And then yeah, but we see them like around like the halfway point. But our main trio is Gwen, Miles, and Peter B. Parker. And the three of them kind of form, a friendship or whatever. And then this movie is honestly, I mean, this movie kind of reminds me of like the Disney films that came out in like the 90s, where this movie gets away with a lot of dark stuff. I mean, like, Kingpin in this movie, the guy is an outright psychopath. I mean, we watch him kill two people in this movie. I mean, he kills Miles' Spider-Man by, by bashing him really hard with his fists, and then and then later on, like halfway through the film, Kingpin shoots and kills Miles' Uncle Aaron, I believe his name was, and you find out that Uncle Aaron is a villain as well. He works for Kingpin, and Kingpin kills him. So yeah, this guy, he kills two. We watch him kill two people in this, and there's some dark stuff in this film that I'm surprised they were able to get away with for it being a, like a preteen movie. It's like there's some dark stuff in this, and then you learn, that, like I said, Kingpin's family was killed in a car accident when a semi crashed into him. So you're like, dude, there's some heavy stuff in this, and trying to think here. So Channing, what makes you like this movie so much?
I just love like the animation. I also love like the storyline of it, of like Spider-Man and different universes. That's what I like about it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And so right now we're talking about Into the Spider-Verse. So, if you had a pick, what's your favorite scene in this?
Maybe whenever Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy meet, because then his hand gets stuck in her hair.
Oh yeah, because like I think it's funny how like him going through the process of getting his powers, I think was pretty funny because like his hands are sticky now, so he goes to tap her shoulder because he's trying to flirt with her, and it's really just a cringe fest. He has no clue what he's doing. Then his hand accidentally gets stuck in her hair, and she's like telling him to just relax, and he can't do it. Then he ends up they had to go to the medical room, and they had to cut her hair to get his hand free. Which I thought was funny. And then we see him, stuck outside his dorm room building, like he's sticking to everything, he can't figure out how to stop it, and
like because his hand keeps going.
It's stuck to the walls. His books are getting stuck to his hands,
Posters,
all that, yeah. And then he has like spider senses, and he can hear like everybody's voice and like in his head. It's like, why is everything so loud? Like it's a lot to deal with at first, and I like how Gwen and Peter are kind of like his mentors throughout this whole thing, trying to teach him, how to. And over the course of the film, he learns that he can turn invisible too. That's a new ability that's given to him. And then
then one day Peter B. Parker takes Miles because they're on a mission to take care of Doc Ock's niece, I think.
No, not that. So I know what you're talking about. So like after they meet up or whatever, they ride a bus to a science facility where they believe the machine is or the chip is or whatever. And we learned in Miles' universe, Octavius is a female in this version.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it's kind of funny. Like, there's this nice little detail at the beginning of the movie when Miles is in a classroom and he meets Gwen for the first time. If you pay attention, they're watching a documentary with Miss Octavius as the presenter. I thought, because she's a scientist in this universe who's also evil. Yeah, that's where we meet her for the first time. And then she takes a sample from she swabs Peter B. Parker, and she learns that his DNA is slowly dying because he's in the wrong universe. So, like, all the other multiverse characters are on borrowed time. Like, they all have a time limit. They need to get home, otherwise they're gonna die. You know, and which I thought was a nice little detail. That there's consequences, you know, for these characters being in the wrong universe. You know, and then we get this hilarious scene, like, not long after them escaping, and then Peter has to teach Miles, like, literally, like, on the spot, like, how to use his webs, or how to swing through the trees, you know, and everything.
And, like, going...
Yep.
Then that's when he finds out that Gwen Stacy, the girl that he meets in college, is actually a spider person, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I think it's kind of funny how each time a character is introduced, we get their backstory. Okay, let's do this one last time. My name is Peter B. Parker. I was bitten by a radioactive spider. You know, it's kind of funny. We get these like recaps of their lives, which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. Then we learn about like the pig, learn about like the anime girl and all the other characters.
Yeah, I think was really tragic because we learn in Gwen's universe, and we learn about this even more in the sequel. But in her universe, Peter Parker never became Spider-Man. He turned himself into a creature, and then he died while Gwen was fighting him. And Gwen didn't know that it was him until he died. You know.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really tragic. And then, like, you learn in the sequel that her dad is the police sergeant, and they've been chasing Gwen because they think she's the one who killed him.
Yeah. Then to find out at the end of the movie, he finds out that his daughter
Is Gwen Stacy
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, that he learns that his daughter is a Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think one of these films, another thing that I like about them is how heavy it is and how it deals with it has so many amazing, you know, like life lessons in them. Like, one of my favorite scenes in this movie was when the rest of the Spiderverse characters meet up to talk with Peter, you know, after his uncle was killed. That was like his Uncle Ben moment where he learns that he loses a loved one, and he learns the responsibility of, okay, human life is the most valuable thing we have. I have to save as many lives as possible. It's like every Spider-Man, I think, has to go through like that loss to understand. Now, Peter B. Parker, it was Uncle Ben. Gwen Stacy, it was Peter Parker. Miles, it was his uncle, you know? And then the rest of them tell him they don't think he's ready because he can't learn how to control his powers, you know? So they all web him to a chair, and they tell him, it's like, you're not coming with us because you will die if you go with us, you know? And then we get this extremely heartfelt scene of his dad going to visit him and telling him, like, I'm sorry that I've been so forceful with making decisions for you. I see a spark in you, you know, like, you're a good person. I'm so proud of you. Like, whatever you choose to do with your life, I'll back you up all the way, you know? And was that scene, like, not just impactful?
Yeah, that was very heartfelt to me. Like, when I saw that, like, shot of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to scream my head off so hard.
Yeah, and that was exactly what Miles needed. And then, like, in that scene, he breaks himself free, then he gets another ability. He has, like, this shock, like, electricity, like, thing.
Like, he go...
Yeah, he can, if he holds on to something long enough, he can charge it up.
Like, if he just, like, hold onto a shirt, he can literally go...
Yeah, exactly. Then we get this amazing scene where he goes back to the cave of Peter's, where Aunt May is waiting for him, and she helps make him his own spider suit.
And he sprayed it, like he spray painted it himself, I think.
Yeah, he spray painted it. Yeah, he put some red on it and stuff. Gave it his own little look. Yeah, which is super cool. And then we get this amazing scene of him swinging through the streets of New York, finally becoming his own Spider-Man. And then the other Spider-Verse characters sneak into this like party going on, and they were able to get into the lab where the machine is or whatever. And then we get this giant fights going on with the other with the mob basically. And then, Miles is able to fight all these characters off on his own, and then we get these amazing moments of all the Spider-Verse, congratulating Miles on becoming his own Spider-Man. And then, we get the fight, and everything, and then they were able to get the machine up and running again, and then everybody gathers up to say their goodbyes. And one of my favorite scenes in this movie was that funny scene where Pig Spider-Man's like, "That's all, folks," and Peter B's like, "Can he even say that legally?" I just thought it was kind of funny. It's like, oh yeah, like he's on by Water Brothers, but I like that joke. And then I also like when everybody had such heartfelt, goodbyes. Like, what did you think of Gwen saying goodbye?
So what I think about Gwen Stacy saying goodbye is like very heartwarming, because it's like also sad too, because like he thought she was from his universe, but she's not.
Yeah.
So he's just like now realizing it's like, oh, she's not from my universe.
Yeah, this could be the last time they see each other. But I think it was kind of cool. Like Miles he has a crush on her hard, but I like how in this movie, they kind of just decided to be friends first, and like they give each other a fist bump, and then she says goodbye and jumps into her portal. And then I think the one that hit me the most, was when it was time for him to say goodbye to Peter B. Parker, and like they had like a brother bond, I thought, going on.
Yeah.
They had like sibling energy, and like he was like an older brother to him. And I remember, and then Miles grabs, like, Peter is trying to stay to sacrifice himself. Miles is like, "No, you need to go home." And he's like, "How do I know I'm not gonna mess it up again?" He's like, "You won't." And Peter's like, "You're right. It's a leap of faith." And he jumps into the portal. Like, dude, that scene was just, so good.
Because they're literally just like, goodbye, brother, for now.
Yeah. We'll see each other again in a few years, so. And that's when, Miles now has to fight Kingpin all on his own. Like, dude, he stood up against Kingpin all on his own. Like, does that not show you just, like, how tough he really is,
Yeah, because, like, that guy is huge.
Yeah, in these movies, dude's built like the Hulk. Big guy.
He's literally the Hulk without Hulk turning into, like, turning green.
Yeah. And then we get the giant final battle, and then he defeats them, and then, he gets his life all fixed up, like he makes a friendship with his roommate, he's starting to do better in school, he improves his friendship with his parents, and I like how at the very end of the movie we get a hint of what's going to happen in the sequel when Gwen comes by to see him. And then that leads us into Across the Spider-Verse, which in my opinion might be one of the greatest sequels of all time.
I know.
I love this movie so much. I remember Jonathan and I remember this came out in 2023, which is the year I graduated from college. I remember that summer after I graduated, me and Jonathan went to go see this together. My gosh, we were so blown away with how good it was. This was amazing. Like, what did you think when you first saw it, Channing?
I loved it, honestly. It was, like, the best, like, Spider-Verse movie I think I ever saw. Because, like, the ending was just, it just hit so hard. I loved the ending.
Yeah.
It's like, you get to know, like, what happens next, like, kind of.
Yeah. So the plot for this movie, so there's been about, I think about maybe a couple year time jump, I think, is the characters are older. Not by much, though. So I think maybe around a couple of years.
Probably like 2 years at the most.
Yeah, exactly. And we learn that Miles is doing okay in school, but his life is starting to get bad again because he's kind of like running into this thing that I think most Spider-Man deal with, is that he can't really balance his Spider-Man life with his personal life, and they're starting to collide. Like he keeps missing, important he's missing school, and he keeps missing important meetings. His parents are starting to get impatient with him. It's like, you keep disappearing all the time, like, where you been? And then we learn in this movie that, his dad's going to become captain of the police force. Things are starting to get bad, and then things get worse when they're having a party at the top of the building where they live, and him and his parents have like a giant argument, on the roof, and then that was when he's like, all right, I'm done with you guys, and he literally just walks away, and he goes back to his room to listen to music, and then that's when Gwen Stacy shows up, and a portal literally opens up, in his room, and then she just hops in, and I like how the cutest thing, the first thing she does is she gives him a giant bear hug,
It's literally just like, oh.
Yeah, like, she can tell that she missed him heavily. And I think it's cool at the beginning of the movie, we learn that she is a drummer in her spare time, and she's in a band, and inside her drum kit and her bass drum, she has the only photograph she took of her and Miles before she left, So you can tell that friendship between them meant a lot to her,
Yeah.
Because we learn in her universe that after Peter was killed, she has, like, no friends,
Oh, yeah.
And then she hops in, and then they kind of tour the city of New York for a little bit. They kind of reconnect, and they share what they've been up to for the last couple of years. And then she goes with Miles to the roof, and then that's when, she meets Miles's parents, and they don't like her. They're like, I bet she doesn't even speak Spanish. Which I thought was funny. And they said something like that, because I think we learned that, like, Miles' parents, they're like, there's like Spanish in their heritage or something.
Yeah.
I believe something like that. Some kind of language. I can't remember what it is.
No,
but
it's Spanish.
Was it? It was Spanish?
Yes, it was Spanish.
Okay, that's what I thought. Let's see. And then after they go through the city for a while, Gwen tells them, we learn that you can tell that Gwen, she's there for other reasons. Like, she's not just there to see Miles, because there's a moment where they're swinging through the city, she leaves them for a few minutes, and we watch her attach a device to one of the street poles, and then she comes back, oh no, I'm fine. Like, she was being real secretive. It's like, what is she up to? And then we learn that it's time she has to leave now, and then Miles goes invisible and spies on her, and she's like talking to this other woman through her headset, and then she says goodbye to Miles, thinking this is going to be the last time, and then she jumps through a portal, and then Miles jumps in after her, and they go into another different universe. And then this is when Peter meets other people from the Spider-Man Society, which we'll see a little later on. And then this is where Gwen starts to get a little unlikable in this movie. Now, I don't know if you agree with me, Channing, but I kind of felt Gwen was a little unlikable. She was likable at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like by the time we get to this point in the movie, she starts to get a little bullyish, I think, towards Miles.
Yeah.
Like, when he jumps through the portal and she sees him, literally the first word, it's not, oh, Miles, I'm so glad you're here. She says, I never should have come to see you. It's like, oh, gee, Gwen, good to see you too. And then it's like, Miles learns about canon events, where it's like, apparently in the Spider-Man Society, they're going on missions where they're trying to make sure that canon events happen. So canon events are things like Peter losing Uncle Ben. Like, apparently, like, these events, like, have to happen, and if they don't, something bad happens. So they're in this different universe, whatever, and then Miles saves a few people from being hit by a car, and apparently that was supposed to happen, but he stopped it. And then this black force comes out of the ground and it starts taking over that universe. And apparently he is told that if you stop canon events, these universes are not at risk of being erased. That's what the theory is, anyway. And then, you know, we get the awesome scene where, you know, he gets taken to the Spider Society, where it's thousands of Spider-Men from other universes in one, and they're all over the place. And it's like there's so many of them. Like there were some that I recognized. Like we get a cameo in this movie from the Insomniac video game Spider-Man. He's in it for one scene, and then we see the Spider-Man from the Disney cartoon. He's in there. Like there were Spider-Man everywhere that I recognized. Like the Spider-Man from the '90s animated show is in there. You know, like there's hundreds and hundreds of them. And then we see Peter E. Parker. He's back, and we learn that in between the first and the second film, him and MJ got remarried, and now they have a daughter. And they get reintroduced, and then. The society is run by this one Spider-Man who is voiced by... Here, give me a minute. I will look this up right quick. Because this man's name escapes me. Give me a moment. Let's see here. Yeah, thank you, Channing. Yeah, Oscar Isaac. He voices Spider-Man 2049, and... we kind of get a feeling straight away that this Spider-Man is not exactly, well, Spider-Man. This guy's, like, part vampire. He doesn't shoot webs. He doesn't stick to walls. Like, he has, like, these metal rods attached to, like, his arms that make him... so that way he can climb stuff. It's like he's not even a Spider-Man-esque person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, all he does is just, like... like in his like very deep voice that he has, and he's literally Spider-Man. He doesn't shoot webs. All he literally does is just climb. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get a sense straight away that this guy doesn't really seem 100% trustworthy. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he's not very trustworthy.
Yeah, there's something about him that just kind of rubs me the wrong way, you know. And then like. We learn how, you know, all the Spider-Men have to experience, you know, a loss of a loved one. And then Miles learns that his father is going to die when he becomes police commissioner, and that he can't stop it from happening. And he's like, are you kidding me? Like, what am I supposed to do? Just let him die? And they're like, yeah. And, like, this scene when they're... No, so, Channing, I'm talking about the scene where, like, all the Spider-Men gang up on him. They're all like... dude, I'm sorry, you have to let your dad die. And this scene, I can't tell you how angry this scene makes me. The fact that Peter B. Parker and Gwen, they were on their side and not his. And then Miles is like, he had enough. And I love this scene because like, he looks at Gwen, he's like, you know what, Gwen, you're right. You never should have come to see me, you know? And like, he calls out both of them for being traitors, like, and... they lock him up in a device, you know, and then he's like, heck with you guys, I'm out of here. And he breaks free using his shock device, you know, and then he's able to run away and hide, and, like, he escapes to headquarters, and, like, Gwen tries to help him, and he's like, Gwen, you and I are done. I do not want anything to do with you. Which I think is rightfully so. He has every right to be angry. I mean, this girl backstabbed him and tried to tell him, oh yeah, sorry, Miles, I'm going to help trap you, and, like, sorry, you can't save your dad. I'm like, what the heck? It's like, I'm sorry, is it too far to say, Channing? I think Gwen was kind of a villain at this point. What do you think?
Honestly, yeah, because she's not helping him. All she's doing is just like, oh, yeah, you better just let your dad die. Like, who does that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if my dad died, I would not let him die. I would try to save him.
Mm-hmm. And, so we get this long chase sequence of Miles escaping the Spider Society facility, and then he makes it onto this tram that's going up into the sky, and then we get this scene where Spider-Man 2049, I believe, he fights Miles on the train, and he tells him that you are the original anomaly, and you're like, what? He says, you were never meant to be bit by that spider. Had you not been bit, your Peter Parker would have lived. Instead, he died, saving you. And it's like, okay, 2049, first of all, you got both those things wrong. Number one, Spider-Man died in Miles' universe because the machine blew up and he was crippled, and then Kingpin killed him. That had nothing to do with Miles. Number two, Miles was just down in a subway spray painting a wall when that spider just crawled on his shoulder and bit him. What could he have done? How is that his fault?
Like, how could he just been like, oh, spider on me, oh, okay. Like, he did the whole thing because he was busy spray painting.
Exactly. I mean, that was completely unfair. How this guy is telling Miles that it's your fault that your Spider-Man died. It's like, no, that is not true in any way, shape, or form. That is a load of crap.
Yeah.
That is not true, you know. And then, like, you learn that. Then he learns that Peter B. Parker in 2049, they were having conversations on how to trap Miles, and Miles is like, "You talked about this? You planned this? So that's why you guys never came to see me." It's like, you know, the other thing that really breaks my heart, did you catch this? We learn in this movie that Miles gave up all of his interests to learn quantum physics. You want to know why? Because he was going to try to make a machine so he could go see his friends again. And it's like, to find out, they could have visited him anytime during all those years, and they never did. Is that not heartbreaking? He gave up everything to learn quantum physics, only to learn that his friends could have come to see him whenever, and they chose not to. Like, dude, that is next level, like, ultimate betrayal, in my opinion. Like, what do you think on that, Channing?
I would have wanted to punch him in the face and be like,
I thought you were my friends.
yeah, I would literally punch him in the face and be like, you...
Traitors.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and then you know, Miles fights 2049 and he wins, you know, and then he tells Peter E. Parker and Gwen goodbye. He jumps off the bridge and jumps off the train and goes invisible.
Wait. So, you missed something, Christian. Because on that train, he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's like, everybody keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go.
He's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Zaps him and just disappears.
Dude, in that moment, I wanted to teleport into the movie and high five. I was like, yes, yes, Miles, my boy, yes.
He's like, I'm gonna do my own thing.
That's right. Probably, yeah. Puts on the sunglasses. Peace. I'm out. You know, yeah.
There's that meme where that guy's like on his phone. He's like,
yeah, exactly. And then he sneaks back into the lab, and he's able to get into the teleportation machine, and then he tries to go back to his universe, where the machine accidentally sends him to the universe that the spider came from that bit him.
oh.
And in this universe, he learns that his dad is dead, and that his uncle is still alive. And at the end of the movie, we get this giant plot twist where that universe's Miles is a villain.
Yep.
It's like, oh no, you know, and he captures him. Yep,
then he's like stuck on the punch bag, and then he sees him. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm Miles Morales, and I'm the
Vanisher or something.
The Prowl."
Oh, the Prowl. Yeah, that's right. The Prowl. Yeah.
He's like, "I am the Prowl," and he's like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, what a twist that was, huh?
Yes, he was in shock. I remember seeing his face. He's like, "Oh my."
Yeah, we weren't expecting that.
Then it just cuts, and everybody. I bet you everybody in that movie theater was shocked. They're like,
yeah, and I like how after he escapes, I like this scene where he's in the portal and Spider-Man 2049, I believe his name is. He's trying to break the force field to kill Miles, and it's like Peter and Gwen look at each other like, "Oh man, we made a grave mistake teaming up with this guy." It's like, yeah, guys, you made a big mistake. Yeah, yes, you did. And then, like, I like how at the end, you know, he teleports back, and then Gwen's like, "Guys, just leave him alone." And then, you know, he sticks up from she finally sticks up for Miles after all the BS she just put him through, you know, and then and then the Spider-Man's like, all right, Gwen, I've had enough of you. We're sending you back, and they send her back to her universe, and like, at the beginning of this movie, we actually get this amazing flashback scene where we learn about the death of Peter Parker in Gwen's universe, and we learn that her dad has been chasing down Gwen Stacy, and then her dad learns that she is the person, and he tries to arrest her, and that's when she escapes into a different universe. Now she has to go back and confront her dad, and they have this heart-to-heart conversation where she's like, this mask is my badge, you know?
And then he's like, and then there's a fun fact about this. So during that fight that they have, there's like two lights. There's like a red light and there's a blue light, like, and there's like in the middle of him. The red light considers like family, and like the blue light is like the police and like him being the chief. And he chooses police, and he's like, "This is police. Put your hands up!" Like in that scene. And that scene right there, I almost cried completely. I'm like, he chose police over family?
Yep. But then he has a redemption in this scene. He tells Gwen that he quit the Force. He's not going to be captain. Like, he chose her. And you know, and they have this heart-to-heart scene, and you know, and they hug, and then she has to go help Miles in that universe, you know, and then she puts together a team. Like, she goes and gets Spider-Noir, Pig Spider-Man, Peter B. Parker, because they agree what they did was wrong, and now they want to go help Miles, you know, and make things right.
Then she goes into Miles' universe, correct?
Yeah, and then she goes to Miles' room, and she finds out that he's not there, and she's trying to figure out, she doesn't know where he is. She doesn't realize that he was sent to a different universe. And she talks with Miles' parents, you know, and tells them, like, your son loves you very much, I'm going to help him, you know, because they're concerned, they don't know where he is, you know?
Yeah. But the thing is that she didn't tell him that he's Spider-Man. She didn't tell him, right?
Yeah, no, she didn't tell him, no.
Because she's going to wait for him to tell his parents himself.
Yeah, right, that he should be the one to tell them.
Yeah,
I agree. So, Channing, I didn't get a chance to ask you, did I ask you, in Spider-Verse, so in Into the Spider-Verse, do you have a favorite scene?
In this scene, it's probably when he said, like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing, and then just goes away.
That's your favorite scene in this one. How about Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie?
You already asked me. It's, when his hand gets stuck in his hair.
That scene? Oh, gotcha. Okay, so for me, Into the Spider-Verse, I think for me, my favorite would have to be at the very end when him and Peter B. Parker had that goodbye moment. That's my favorite. And in the sequel, my favorite moment, I think, was when Gwen. You know that scene when Gwen she has him stuck to her web, and he cuts it. He's like, I don't want your help, and he falls. Like, I really like that moment because it's like, Gwen, you single-handedly backstabbed your friend. It's like, no, I don't want your help. Like, I like that little moment because that's him. That's basically him telling her to, you know, go away. Like, I don't want, like, back off. I don't want your help. I like that moment because he's really sticking up for himself in that one.
He's like, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, rightfully so. Jane, I can't tell you like how. Now, do you think like, I'm so angry at Peter B. Parker and Gwen. Like, are you mad at them for what they did in this movie?
Totally. Like, they should have been on his side because they're friends after all.
Yeah, exactly. That scene made me so mad. But I think they're gonna. Do you think they're gonna redeem themselves in the third movie?
I mean, they'll try to, but I don't think Miles will even talk to them until they, like, prove themselves to, like, sorry, we were wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I hope it's not like I hope they're not forgiven, like, too quickly, you know, like...
Yeah, like, they better be, like, do something to help Miles, and then he's like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think there needs to be, like, a big scene, like, I want him to... I hope we get a scene, like, he confronts them, like, guys... I gave up everything in my personal life because I wanted to learn quantum mechanics because I wanted to see you guys again. It's like, Gwen, I loved you. How could you do that to me? It's like, I want them to have like a very big like scene where he calls both of them out. You know,
Yes.
big, I want that so bad. Now, Channing, I think now would be a good time to ask you. So, are there anything you hope that happens in the third movie?
I hope we kind of like learn more about like the other universes and like all the other Spider-Mans, and also learn about like how Miles gonna get back home.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, is he going to be able to save his dad? You know, and also we haven't even talked about what did you think of that new villain in this one, like the white guy? Wait, he was making those black like teleportation like.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about him. He was kind of like a side villain in this. Like for the first half of the movie, he was kind of like treated as like a joke, you know. But then towards the end, he got real creepy when he got more power.
Because he's like,
I'm gonna do to you. I'm gonna ruin your life the way you ruined mine. You know, like.
I forgot. How did Miles ruin his life exactly?
So he was one of the scientists in the facility when it blew up.
Oh yeah.
And he was covered in like this goo that like turned his skin white, and now he can make like portals that take him to different he's basically a walking multiverse if you think about it, you know.
Yeah. Because literally, he can literally make a universe like on your roof. He can literally just go.
Yeah, and he's gone, you know, and he wants to get revenge on Peter on Miles for what he did to him. Apparently, in the movie, you can actually he confirms who he is. If we watch the movie again, I could tell you which scientist he was. But anyway, yeah, he's gonna go ruin Miles' universe. It's like you have him, and you have Spider-Man 2049 who's not gonna help, in that he's gonna let his dad die. And another thing we learned, Channing, at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, is that canon events, they're not what they thought they were. So Gwen thought her dad was going to die, but he chose not to become captain. He's going to live now. So that means everything they learned about canon events is wrong. Things can be reverted without consequences.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes you think Miles might be able to save his dad and everything will be fine.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, you know, going into this movie, and so Channing. So yeah, I think Miles' parents are gonna learn that he's Spider-Man, and I think Peter B. Parker's gonna die.
Yeah, honestly, I think that too.
Yeah, I think Gwen's safe because I heard they want to do a spin-off with her, so I think she's safe. I think so. I could be.
Yeah.
I doubt it, and I think. Do you think that? Now here's the thing. Do you think that Miles and Gwen should be a couple, or do you think they should stay friends?
I think they should be like friends to dating, like that type of thing.
Well, yeah, they are friends first. So you think that they will become lovers at some point? You think?
Yes, definitely. I think it's definitely a possibility.
Because it's kind of funny. I actually watched. Did you notice in the movie? Somebody broke this down. Did you notice how, if you watch every scene, she's really touchy.
Yeah, she's like.
With like Miles, you know, and did you notice how like there was this funny scene in the movie where if you pay attention, he's talking with this other female Spider-Man girl, and did you notice Gwen got jealous as she webbed him over to her?
She's like, get over here.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. There were hints throughout this movie that she likes him too.
Yeah.
There's small little hints. If you pay attention, you know, yeah, it's clear that she likes him too. And I think Peter Parker's gonna die in this because I feel like that would up the stakes. And I think Miles will save his dad.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know what else is going to happen. I don't know if Spider-Man 2049 will be the main villain in this one, or if they're going to be able to tell him like, hey man, like you got this wrong. Canon events are not what we thought they were. You know.
Yeah.
And, like, I think there's more about him we don't know yet. You know, it's like, he's kind of similar to Kingpin in this movie. Like, he did the same thing. Like, we learned in his backstory that he went to a different universe where he died, and he hooked up with his family in that universe. Then when he did that, his universe disappeared. He thought because of a canon event or something that we learned that's not the case. So I think there's more to it than what we've been shown.
Yeah.
So let me think here, Channing. So let's do this. Into the Spider-Verse. What would you give the first movie out of 10?
Probably like definitely a 9 out of 10 because like it was a really good starter movie, and I just think it's definitely a good starter movie for kids.
Yeah, I think he did an amazing job of like introducing all these new characters.
Yeah,
for sure.
In the second movie, I'll definitely get it like an 8 out of 10, just because that Gwen was not nice and like I mean I'll give it a 9 out of 10, but the only reason I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is because Gwen wasn't nice and all the other Spider-Mans.
How they all betrayed Miles and didn't have his back when it mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll give both movies a 9.5. Like, they are amazing movies.
Yeah, but
yeah, I can't decide which one's better. I mean, they're both equal in my opinion. Like, they're both just so good.
Oh, I already know which one's better. Definitely the second one. Just because there's like there's a lot more like shockers and stuff, you know?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of plot twists in this one. Yeah, well, maybe the second one is a little better, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably gonna be like the first Spider-Man movie and the second one mixed together into like a good mixture, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Now, how would you want is there how would you like this trilogy to conclude if you like?
I mean, I like it like to conclude of like maybe like Miles finally getting like doing stuff that he wanted to do, and like his parents like finally like helping him and like actually like proud of him and all that stuff.
Right.
Not forcing him to go to college and like actually let him like live his life.
Yeah.
Basically all that, and also like him and Gwen Stacy like dating happily and all that.
Yeah, I agree.
And like him just living a really good life.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Channing. I think that's everything I want as well. Now, I just want this story to end on a very good note. You know, like a lot of franchises have this problem now where it's like they don't know how to end something. You know, I've seen so many trilogies where it's like they keep setting up stuff for the next movie. You know, it's like I wish they could find a way to give things an official ending where it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, done. You know, like we don't need any more sequels. So I'm hoping that this third movie kind of, you know, wraps everything up on a very good note, and I think it will. You know, I think it's gonna be great.
But here's the thing: what if they made like another movie? Then how excited would we be for another movie?
I don't know. It would depend. You know, I mean, if it's good enough, sure. But it's like, I just want them to end it on a high note. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
so today it's just like they keep franchises and films. They just keep going and going and going and going. So you're like, okay, can we wrap this up now, please? You know, it's like I see it all the time where they keep dragging stories out instead of ending them on a high note. It's like you want to leave it in a way where you want your fans like, I want more.
Yeah.
But they gave you enough. You know what I mean? It's like you want to leave your fan base wanting more. That means you left it on a good note.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I am so excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I really hope it comes out this year.
Yeah, me too. Because if it does, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go, yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to go watch it. But yeah, that's about going to wrap it up for us talking about Into the Spider-Verse films. These are great pictures. If you guys have not seen them yet, I recommend you go check them out. They are fantastic. Great stories, great life lessons, you know, great metaphors, you know, and just really good stuff. So yeah, definitely go check them out. And we'll definitely have to talk about Beyond the Spider-Verse whenever we go watch it.
Oh yeah.
So, like I always say, guys, take care of yourselves. Keep living life to the fullest. Keep taking opportunities and just live life the best you can. You know, make the most of it. So, Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there, and stay hydrated. The summer is in full force now, especially here in the state of Illinois. The heat has been absolutely insane. Like, in my office right now, it is a sauna. I had to turn the AC off so there wouldn't be any background noise, and it is getting hot in here, so it is bad, guys. Like, I'm a cart pusher at Walmart, and like, just yesterday when I was working, I think I sweated off like 10 pounds. Like, it is hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, just stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, folks, and definitely wear sunscreen when you go outside, because that sun will cook you alive.
Cook you to the brim, to be exact.
Yeah, but until next time, I'm Christian Taylor.
And I'm Channing Taylor.
And you are listening to the Tales of Music and Film.